Imagine a world, dear friends, where everyone knows their connection to Source. Everyone knows they are infinitely loved and part of the infinite intelligence that creates worlds. Everyone is willing to receive the love and assistance of angels, and even little children are supported in understanding that their ability to choose their focus and aim their attention is a superpower that draws formless love into creation in new and unique ways. Open your heart and feel the energies around you. In this moment, you carry a fear tied to guilt. You project it outward with the impression that you are justified in feeling guilty, as though some aspect of you had not behaved properly. Within your very cells, you carry the impression that you have veered off your central path. Dear soul, you have not strayed from your way. Rather, you are in a quest for identity. This has indeed led you to reject the paths that were presented to you, sensing they did not correspond to the ideal you carry. And since your ideal is not yet visible outwardly, you do not know how to express the light you bear. Imagine a world where there is no perceived lack, and only the understanding that what you want or need can be supplied. Imagine a world where people feel good enough as they are, and therefore neither require nor demand validation through the agreement or attention of others. Dear ones, this world would be heaven. This would be a world without war, manipulation, abuse, egoic battles, belittling, self-criticism, or pain. It would be a world in which worry is replaced by trust, lack dissolves into abundance, and diversity is valued rather than feared. A world where you need not defend or justify your worth or explain your feelings. In this world, everyone would understand that while they have a perfect inner compass to guide them, so does everyone else. And while your earth is not there yet, you can slowly but surely embrace these deeper truths and create your own bubble of heaven on earth right within a world where many people are choosing many different realities. From the outset, we wish to reassure your being. You are a pathfinder, an organizer, a builder of structure. These terms truly reflect the ideal you carry within your energy. In your visions, you hold an understanding of human social structures that favor the wheel that is, the circular form in which all beings support one another, where the power struggles you know today no longer exist. Dear soul, within you lies the understanding of the societies of the new world. Because you do not perceive through your physical eyes frameworks capable of receiving your cellular understanding, you experience a kind of disillusionment. This disillusionment has turned somewhat against you because you associated it with something that made you different and ill-adapted. This is the source of what you call your rebellion. It is not truly a rebellion. As you increasingly felt your identity in adolescence, you observed the outside world with your physical eyes and saw there was no mold to receive your identity, your uniqueness. This led you to imagine that in order to exist, you had to reject what was outside. It created a gap, a dissonance, and the beings around you did not understand you. They still do not. We speak often of dimensions and label them things like 3D and 5D. In reality, consciousness is a spectrum. Everyone finds their place somewhere along it, from completely unconscious and unaware to fully united with Source, as is the case with your spiritual masters. Some babies are at higher levels of consciousness than some adults and vice versa. Awareness of one's connection to love varies from moment to moment. Enlightenment is not always a permanent state you achieve and then hold forever. It can occur in a single moment of pure love and appreciation, It becomes more frequent as you continue to voluntarily make contact with the source of love, realize your own worth, and live in love with life. It can become a permanent condition, but rather than making the enlightenment experience the goal, making living in love the goal, and then every step of your journey will be filled with light. There are countless ways to connect with the infinite love that lives within you and all creation. You can meditate, pray, enjoy the beauty of nature, or feel the aliveness of wet grass or sand beneath your feet. You can share a moment of pure connection with a loved one, a pet, a child, or even a stranger. They do not understand that your vision remained in parallel planes. Cultivating molds for social life, we say molds in the sense of ways of living together. Dear soul, an aspect of you lives in very evolved parallel societies. You are energetically connected with other facets of yourself who live within highly developed social structures, micro-societies. Beings who have learned mutual aid, who have learned to use life, vital energy, the universal life force, in the service of social life. At present, human beings have learned to extract planetary resources to sustain life, whereas an evolved society no longer extracts from its environment. It generates through its life force and its love, the vitality needed to meet everyone's needs. But for a society to move from the cycle of extracting external resources to the cycle of self-sufficiency, it must attain the qualities of love that allow it to truly recognize itself. And in recognizing itself, it proclaims its universal alliance. And from this universal alliance, it recognizes that it can build a bridge between the I Am presence that exists in parallel planes and the earthly presence. Love is what opens the doors of the dimensions. And when beings on earth denied themselves and began to oppose one another, they cut their connection to love because love is what unites beings. By cutting the connection to love, they also cut the connection to the parallel planes, where vital energy can be drawn continuously. Thus, they isolated themselves in the third dimension, condemning their people to draw on Earth's resources to meet their needs, since universal resources have been severed. Now, should you hear in our words any form of condemnation or judgment? Not at all. You can sing, chant, or sit in silence, simply feeling your own feelings with love, compassion, and appreciation. Whatever you do to connect with love, whether great or small, will connect you with the power that creates worlds. This power lives and breathes within you. Dear friends, there is no discussion in the heavens about your worthiness. You do not earn divine love, because the divine is love. You do not earn sunshine. You receive it because it is the sun's nature to shine. You do not earn angelic assistance. It is our nature to assist. You either open to it, allow it, or block it with false notions of unworthiness. We know so many of you could easily list the people in your past who made you feel unworthy. But ask yourselves, did they crawl into your mind and rewire you? Or did they simply shake your faith in your goodness until you concluded you weren't enough? Dear ones, many of you had to walk in the storms growing up. We understand how hard it is to maintain your sense of self in such conditions. But now you are adults free and able to choose. Now you need not stand in the storms. You can choose peace. The people who told or implied that you were not enough did not even know they were lying. Their own false notions of unworthiness compelled them to seek validation, agreement, submission, or compliance from you. They did not understand their own misunderstanding. This experience is part of a collective intention to come live a very elaborate earthly experience intended as a laboratory for exploring non-love in order to better understand love. It is as if you deprived yourself of water to better understand thirst and the taste of water. Depriving oneself of love is not the goal. The goal is to better understand love from the state of separation. Only when beings experience separation collectively, they underwent a shock that could not be understood beforehand, because the experience had never occurred. Thus, beings came to understand separation by living through a shock that led them to believe they had acted wrongly on a universal level, that some aspect of them bore a kind of sin, and that this was why they had been condemned to live an experience apart from love. Dear soul, your arrival on Earth goes back about 21,000 Earth years. Around 21,000 years ago, you incarnated on this earthly plane for the first time. You come from a star within the Arcturian world. It is a network, not a specific planet. It is a universal sector. Arcturus is a known planet. It is not your planet. And even if we told you the name of your planet, you would need to understand that before that planet, there were others. Thus, there is not truly a single point of origin. We know you would like a more precise answer, but we can say that it is a universal sector that corresponds numerologically to the number 9, the ninth plane, and that it arises from intention to explore social life within a unique flower of life. Thus, you are a master of social life, of structured living.